Good evening. Welcome. Clicked Up TV brings you the latest update of Clicked Up TV. We're going to start bringing the news once a month at the end of the month, and we'll give you about 10 cyber technology crimes that was committed, whether it's using computers, fraud, credit card, embezzlement, whatever, long as it's tied to technology. I'm going to bring you that type of news. So the first news that I'm going to bring to you has just been updated as February 11th. It was one of 6 consultants indicted in the Amazon bribery scheme. They're getting ready to get sentenced to prison. Let's go into details. It's all started in Seattle. The first 6 consultant indicted in September of 2020. It was in regards to a fraud and bribery scheme targeting Amazon.com and its online marketplace. They were sentenced today to 10 months in prison and a fine up to $50,000, announced by U.S. Attorney Nick Brown. Rohit Kadimsetti, 28th of Northridge, California, pleaded to guilty to conspiracy in September 2021. At the sentences hearing, U.S. District Judge Richard A. Jones said, "You do not have a license to steal from Amazon. You are involved in illegal conduct. This could be called modern-day organized crime." Yes, that's what the U.S. District Judge Richard Jones announced to the criminal in court. The criminal in court, Mr. Kadimsi, used his knowledge and contacts from prior employment at Amazon to enrich himself by manipulating listings of Amazon Marketplace, said U.S. Attorney Nick Brown. He was critical cog in the bribery wheel, paying contacts in India to reinstate suspended accounts, steal confidential information, and attack competitors who got the way of those fundings in this bribery scheme. Now, according to records in the case, since at least 2017, the defendant used bribery and fraud to elevate and benefit certain merchants on the Amazon marketplace. Kadimsetti and other defendants serves as so-called consultants to third-party sellers on Amazon marketplace. Those third-party sellers sold a wide range of goods, including household goods, consumer electronics, and dietary supplements on the Amazon multi-million-dollar electronic computer platform. On a multi-million-dollar electric commerce platform. And following his employment at Amazon and after relocating to the United States, Kadimsetti used his inside knowledge to recruit employees in India to misuse their employee privileges and to access internal information, systems, and tools. Kadimsetti connected employees in India with other consultants and third-party sellers across the United States. Kadimsetti acted as a middleman of sorts, assigning tasks on behalf of third-party sellers and negotiating and arranging bribe payments on behalf of corrupt Amazon insiders. To hide his criminal conduct, Kadimsetti used deceptive email accounts, encrypted messaging services, and bribes through third parties. So that's just a brief introduction into that news that happened in regards to an employee who used to work for Amazon, committing all sorts of bribes. Now, February 13th, this is a different news. Based out of El Paso, FBI El Paso office warns of romance scams that happened in regards to Valentine's Day. Now, people were scamming prior to Valentine's Day. Let's read about it and see how did they do. So, swipe left on potential romance scams this Valentine's Day. The FBI El Paso field office wants to educate the public about romance scams. Yo, simps out there. So, they try to protect your heart and your wallet from these romance scammers. In romance scams, also known as confidence scams, a criminal create fake profiles on dating sites or social media platforms to trick victims into believing they are trusting relationships. Whether familiar, friendly, or romantic with the perpetrator, fraudsters leverage these relationships to manipulate and steal from victims and break their hearts. Their achy, breaky hearts. Romance scammers are liars and thieves, but they're also master manipulators, said Jeffrey R. Downey, special agent in charge of the FBI El Paso field office. Victims may feel embarrassed, he said, but it's important to come forward and contact the FBI if you suspect your online admirer is a scammer, so we can help bring them to justice before they break someone else's hearts and break somebody else's bank account. Going on further into the news spectrum, on February 14th, an Albuquerque man sentenced to 4 years and 9 months in prison for cyberstalking, online threats, and identity theft. Let's see how he conducted himself. Let's read the report. This is all public record. It's on the internet. I'm not saying anything that hasn't been a fact. So, Albuquerque, Mark Christopher, 39 years old. Mark Christopher Arnold of Albuquerque was sentenced in federal court on February 9th to 4 years, 9 months in prison for interstate communication of threats. Woo! Let me say that again. Interstate communication of threats. Cyberstalking, aka unauthorized computer access and furtherance of cyberstalking and aggravated identity theft. Arnold pleaded guilty to 4-count indictment on July 14th of 2020. According to the indictment and other court records, Arnold and the victim were involved in a relationship from 2016 to 2018. When victim ended the relationship after an indictment in which Arnold pointed a loaded pistol at her, the victim obtained a restraining order against Arnold in 2019. Between April 10th and 2019 and June 10th, 2019, Arnold sent over 700 messages over the internet, including numerous threats and harassing statements of the victim, using technology, though, to send numerous threats. Over 700 messages. In May 2019, the victim closed her Facebook account but created a new account under a different last name around March 2020 and did not share the new account with Arnold. Between May 22, 2020 and May 24, 2020, she received several security warnings from Facebook, including that her password have been reset and that the account have been accessed from a different location. On May 23, 2020, Arnold sent her a message stating that she had left her password on his computer and that he had read her messages. He also left a voicemail in which he admitted accessing her account. So I'm not going to go in further into that report, but you definitely understand how people can use technology, computers, social media to cause threats, to do scams, to commit all sorts of crime. So, February 15th, this is former Logan County man pleads guilty to federal wiretapping charges. Federal wiretapping. I thought the only people could wiretap was the federal. So, Charleston, West Virginia, a former Logan County resident pleading guilty today to a federal wiretapping charge. According to court documents and statements made in court, Randall Dwight Holding II, 33, admitted to secretly recording a video of a woman engaged in sexually explicit conduct in her Logan County home on November 25th, 2017. The video was later uploaded to the internet without the victim's knowledge. The video was one of several security reported videos that Holden had created and posted online, depicting the victim. Holden is scheduled to be sentenced June 2nd, 2022, and he faces up to 5 years in prison. United States Attorney Will Thompson made the announcement and commended the investigative work of the West Virginia State Police, Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. United States District Judge Irene C. Berger presided over the hearing, assisting U.S. Attorney Jennifer Rada-Harrell in prosecuting this case. So, man, goes to tell you, you can't be secretly recording people, then trying to put them on Pornhub. Don't make no sense. So, I have another incident happened on February 15th. Well, not an incident. These are people just getting charged, I believe. The incidents happened prior to the date. But February 15th, Oregon FBI Tech Tuesday is building a digital defense against smishing. Kind of rhyme with catfishing. So let's see what smishing is. Let me spell it for you guys. You might know what smishing is. I don't know what smishing is. I'm lost in space. Trying to get to know these terms one term at a time. But let's start. Welcome to the Oregon FBI Tech Tuesday segment. Today, building a digital defense against smishing. It sounds like it may be a fun game when in reality it's anything but fun. It's a downright dangerous to your device. The word smishing comes from combining SMS with phishing. SMS is a short messaging service, a common form of texting. Phishing with a PH is a technique by which scammers fish for victims, setting lures for unsuspected people to click on. In this case, smishing involves bad actors sending messages to your device that look legit. Perhaps your bank, credit card company, or your favorite retailer. I'm quite sure anybody can open their phone right now and show me a scammer text saying something, oh, bank alert, bank account alert, Wells Fargo, or your insurance, oh, insurance expired, or your car got recalled, things like that in that nature. Or call a tax service. If you don't, the next phone call will be the sheriff's calling your phone. All type of scams they be pulling. But in one version of this scam, you click on a link, right? And you're sent to a spoof website that might look nearly identical to the real thing, such as Wells Fargo, for instance. You are asked to enter sensitive information like passwords and credit card numbers. In another version of the scam, the smishers just need you to click the link. And instead of winning that great lottery prize, he offered you a full download of malware. And the final version of the scam is even easier to spot. The bad actor message with some urgent need. Maybe he tells you that your bank account is locked. He stresses you out, and without giving you time to think, pressures you into texting back your bank account, your PIN, anything he can tap into your bank, he's gonna get to you, make you feel nervous, make it sound important. But don't be fooled. They will make your bank account turn zero quick. Okay, on to the next news. Same day, February 15th, Georgia man admits making interstate threats against executive officers of a New Jersey company. Newark, New Jersey. A Georgia man today admitted making interstate threats to an executive officer of a New Jersey-based company. U.S. Attorney Philip R. Selinger announced. Alan Wallace, 59, of Cummins, Georgia, pleaded guilty by video conference before U.S. District Judge Claire C. Secchi to an information charging him with one account of transmitting interstate threats. According to the documents filed in this case and statements made in court from January 2021 to March 2021, Wallace, a former company employee, a former employee of Company 1, sent threatening email communications to Victim 1, an executive officer of Company 1, publicly traded company with headquarters in Jersey. Victims 1, Companies 1 email account received the emails every few days beginning on January 11th, 2021, continued through early March 2021, with more sporadic emails arriving thereafter. The emails were sent to Victim 1 from an anonymous email service. The emails threatened violence to the Victim 1 and violence to the Victim 1's family if Company 1 stock did not exceed a certain share value within 30 days. Whoa. You don't need no insider trader. Just go up in there, point a gun, or send an email. Hey, you better make sure those shares is looking right. I'm not investing. This man is crazy. So, he wanted to make sure Company 1 stock did not exceed a certain share value within 30 days. An email received on February 5th, 2021 with a subject line, bloodbath. Read, Victim 1, it seems you don't care about your family. This will be an absolute bloodbath if stock isn't over $200 in 2 weeks. You're hurt. So many, now it's your turn to experience. The interstate threats charge carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Man, there's some weirdos out there. So, February 16th, 2 more defendants added to the federal indictment alleging fraud scheme at a Chicago elementary school. Oh, this sounds sad already. They scheming at elementary school. How bad does it get? And it's in Chicago. If it's public, it's even worse. You're scheming a public school in Chicago. Doesn't make no sense. Scheming a school, period, doesn't make no sense. Let's get into the news. Chicago. An ongoing federal investigation into alleged fraud scheme at a Chicago elementary school has resulted in charges against 2 defendants. An 11-count superseding indictment unsealed today in U.S. District Court in Chicago alleges that Sarah Jackson Abdelal carried out a fraud scheme while serving as principal of Brenneman Elementary School on the north side of Chicago. The first aspect of the scheme involved overtime fraud, for which Abdelal was initially charged last year. The superseding indictment added a second aspect to the alleged scheme, procurement fraud, and charges 2 defendants, former Brenneman Assistant Principal Jennifer McBride, also known as Jennifer Ellen, and former Brenneman Business Manager William Jackson. McBride allegedly participated in the overtime aspects of this fraud scheme, while Jackson allegedly participated in both overtime and the procurement aspect scheme. The superseding indictment charges Abdelal, 58 of Chicago, with 1 count of wire fraud. McBride, 40 of Northbrook, is charged with 4 counts of wire fraud. Jackson, 37, is charged with 5 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of mail fraud. Whoa, he really not a male? No, I'm just messing with y'all. Y'all know what that mail fraud means. Arrangements in U.S. District Court in Chicago have not yet been scheduled. Whoo-wee! What's wrong with people nowadays? School don't pay enough. They doing all sorts of fraud left and right. So, February 16th, jury convicts Washington woman of cyberstalking for harassing, threatening a Montana man. We got women out here stalking men. Whew. Oh my. Let's get into the news, people. Let's see. So, a jury today convicted a Washington woman of cyberstalking a Montana man she met online and public officials by hacking the man's email and sending harassing and threatening communications, U.S. Attorney Leif M. Johnson said. After a 3-day trial, the jury found Kathy Ann Hendrickson, also known as Kathy Thorberg, 60. She's 60 years old and getting her stalk on. Shit, don't hate. I might have to congratulate. You that old and you trying to get you something, girl. Your man ain't stopped pausing yet. So Kathy Thornburg, 60 of Walla Walla, Washington, guilty of cyberstalking and charged in an indictment. Hendrickson faces a maximum of 5 years in prison and a $25,000 fine, and 3 years of supervised release. The trial began on February 14th. So, Hendrickson stole the victim's personal information, hacked into the email account, and then used her cell phone as a weapon to threaten and harass not only the victim, but also public officials. Predators who tried to hide their true identity on the internet to stalk innocent victims will be held fully accountable. I want to thank Assistant U.S. Attorney Timothy J. Rachiot and the FBI for investigating and prosecuting this case, U.S. Attorney Johnson said. Wow, 60 years old, man. Okay. On February 16th, a Hilton man arrested, charged with stalking. Let's see what this man is up to. Rochester, New York. U.S. Attorney Trinity Ross announced today that David Guest, 24, of Hilton, New York, was arrested and charged by a criminal complaint with stalking. The charges carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. Assistant U.S. Attorney Cal P. Rossi, who is handling the case, stated that according to the complaint, in 2019, Guest began to threaten and harass an acquaintance victim through various social media accounts. Guest posted nude photographs of the victim to various pornographic websites using the victim's full name. Guest also sent the nude photographs to, among others, the victim family members. How embarrassing that is. But not only the victim family members, colleagues, former classmates, and friends. In addition, Guest used fake online accounts in an attempt to get the victim to produce additionally sexually explicit content. As a result of Guest's conduct, the victim has continued to receive unwanted communications from other individuals who received the photographs, causing the victim extreme emotional distress. Yeah, because you know, if a man send a picture to another man, he gonna be like, shoot, I'm trying to tap that. She looking good. That thong. Oh man, they gonna be trying to hit her so good. But that's what happened in this case. But in this case, it was some illegal activity.